Welcome to the Small Business Breakthrough Series, where each week we are interviewing small businesses that support small businesses. Why is that? Because we support each other in this community, and we have found that the smaller your business is, the more support you need from the exterior. And we have come across a social media marketing genius, Kyle Lilly, the owner of Lilly Communications, who is coming on to the show today. And we're going to talk to him about the strategies that he's using in the social media marketing space. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jason, happy to be here.
Kyle, can you give us a snapshot of what your business is and the major outcomes that you get for your clients?
Yeah, of course. As a whole, Lilly Communications is a digital marketing agency focused primarily on social media marketing. We offer other services like web design and digital ads and stuff, but that main focus is really around being able to support small businesses in the area. And that first thing to hit the back burner is social media marketing for a lot of small businesses. So just being that support, that extra hand that they need. Major outcomes is just that brand recognition. My main focus is the food and beverage and fitness industry, and it's very saturated up here in Rochester, New York. So being able to break through that mold, break through the algorithm, and have that content seen in front of the right audience where that is going to convert.
Okay, you started to dive in a little bit. Elaborate a little bit more. You're working into, you said, food service and other parts of the industry, but let's describe who your services work best for.
Okay. Yeah. Services work best for the smaller businesses, really. 1 to 2, less than 10 employees is really where our sweet spot is, where that business owner is wearing so many hats that the marketing aspect of it falls to the side. So I really work on being an extension of the team, being able to dive in, learn as much about the business as I can so that I can properly put together a strategy that's going to be executed well and get in front of that right audience. So the smaller the business, the better when it comes to who I'm working with.
Okay, you talk about strategy there. I love strategy myself. I'm a growth strategist. So
Yep.
as we're talking about this and diving into these small businesses, especially the size that you're talking about, needs all the support they can get.
Right.
Tell me what, I should tell the audience here, what sets your business apart in your approach from every other social media marketer out there?
Yeah, honestly, it's that strategy aspect. I feel like there's so many businesses that dive too deep into that feel-good content, the trends and everything, which is where you lose that strategy. So being able to revert all of my content that I create back to this research-backed strategy is where I differentiate myself. We're not chasing these trends. We they can be sprinkled in to get that engagement, but it's really just all of our content reverts back to answering the question that the audience is looking for.
Okay. What would you say your biggest challenge is inside of the industry of digital marketing right now? And how are you tackling it for your clients and partners?
I think it's pretty straight standard across the board. It's a very saturated industry right now. Social media is blowing up. It's huge. It's huge for any business. So being able to have content that is digestible, it's easy to connect with. And I like to tell clients, think of your social media page as like your FAQ page on your website. Are we answering the questions that need to be answered? So I think you keep hitting hard on those points, and it's not about getting the most followers. It's not about getting the most engagement. It's about finding the right audience. So I preface that when I work with clients. Don't look at these specific numbers. We want to look at conversions rather than, oh, we got 50 new followers this month. So that's really where my primary focus goes. And I think that's what kind of differentiates my strategy.
That's a good point. When you're talking about going out there, it doesn't matter if you've got a million followers. That's a pretty big exaggeration, but
Yeah.
we'll go there anyways for fun. A million followers, if those million followers are 12 to 14-year-old kids and your primary audience is 50 to 55-year-old men, like
Yep.
that really it does you good. Unless they happen to be kids of those men, it does not do any bit of a benefit to it. So it's understanding the right audience, getting into the
Yep.
correct niches and ideal client profiles.
Yeah.
How,
Quality over quantity.
yeah, let's be real. You didn't start your business to feel stuck, overwhelmed, or bored out of your mind. But yet, here you are, spinning, stalled, or just chasing every shiny object just to stay motivated. And I know exactly how you feel because I used to do the same thing. But that's why I built the Momentum community for founders like you. It's for people who are ready to get serious, simplify, and build a business that actually moves forward. It uses peer accountability, and it's what I used to be able to grow my business successfully and have a great exit. Does sound like something you need? Click the link in the description below and let's have a conversation. Enjoy the rest of the show. How do you see your field evolving over the next 5 to 10 years?
I think social media is gonna stick around for a while, fingers crossed, for my sake. It's grown pretty rapidly in the past few years, especially once TikTok rolled around, that TikTok shop and just online shopping in general with COVID and everything. I definitely think that there's gonna be some pretty hefty growth with it. It still should be very heavily considered when you're thinking about your overall marketing plan.
Awesome. Hey, Kyle, what you've been doing this for a little bit. Why did you decide to go into digital marketing? What was your catalyst that drove you to working on strategy for especially these little companies? Because some people don't necessarily want to work with super small businesses like you are.
Yeah, when I started in college, I was a corporate finance major and I did an internship in that field, realized I hated it. And then I ended up working in corporate finance for a little bit after graduation. But I ended up switching my program to marketing, and a lot of my classes were focused on that research aspect of it. Social media wasn't really huge at the time where a lot of businesses were using it. I have that background in the research side of things. A time of my life opened up and gave me the opportunity to start my business. And I wanted to make sure that I brought that research aspect to my business while creating content that's fun and engaging, but also having that background to go with it.
That sounds amazing. Hey, good listeners out there, if you're listening to this, Kyle is a unique set because you don't run across corporate finance majors that understand research going into social media marketing very often. It's usually into creatives, and this is a very unique set. I can see some definite ideation coming out of Kyle that you wouldn't see in your typical marketing. So keep that in mind. Kyle, it has been fantastic so far. How about we go into a little bit of the lightning round, get to know a little bit more about you?
Yeah, love it.
Okay. Trust me, the questions aren't too hard.
Okay, cool.
Coffee or tea? Coffee. Cats or dogs?
Oh, I have both. I think, honestly, I think dogs more, but the cat is mine. I like weirdly went through a cat phase during COVID and adopted one. So,
Okay.
but I had to go with dogs.
I grew up with a cat. I've had cats and dogs. I currently have both myself. Oh, totally understand. If you could grab only one weapon or item during a zombie apocalypse, what would it be?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with hammer because I feel like that's the only thing that I really have handy around here.
Fair
I
enough.
won't make it far, but I'll try.
It's fair enough. Favorite quote or phrase that you think about often?
Honestly, going back to that quality over quantity, that's what I think of basically every day when I'm looking at client work.
Okay. Favorite movie or streaming series that you enjoy?
I love a romantic comedy. The Proposal is my favorite movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
One book that has influenced your life the most.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. Okay, so there's a self-help book that I read a while ago, and it's called How to Be a Badass. And that really helped me. I was working in finance at the time, and I think that kind of really helped me change my mindset on where I wanted to go with my future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Biggest obstacle that you have ever had to overcome and one lesson that you've learned from it.
I don't know if it's really my biggest, but I had the final push that it took for me to start my business was I was working a nonprofit and there was just a big turnaround with the company that I was at, and it turned into a lot of issues with supervisors and HR and stuff, and realizing that people in these higher positions don't really understand the work that goes into these entry level positions and stuff like that. And I realized then that I want to be valued no matter what position I'm in, no matter what entry level, C-suite level, stuff like that. So I think that really helps shape how I run my business. And the people that I work with, I have a group of freelancers that I work with, being able to let them be heard and bring creative ideas in. We're in a creative field, so letting that voice be heard.
Okay.
Just say, yeah.
Excellent. Kyle, it's been such an honor to have you on the podcast today. Definitely a unique set of opportunities for our listeners out there. What would be the best way that our listeners could get a hold of you if they want to collaborate with you?
Yeah, Instagram is where we're most active. So that's Lilly, Lily.coms is the handle. We're also active on Facebook, Lilly Communications, LinkedIn, Lilly Communications, or we have a booking link on our website at lilycoms.com.
Okay, you guys heard it here. So all of that information will be in the show notes below or the YouTube description if you're watching this on YouTube. And it has been an honor to have Kyle on the show and learn something different about how social media marketing can be utilized from different aspects of personality and corporate, coming from corporate finance degrees to the research that can go into all of them. Kyle, thank you for being on the show.